This video is our highlights of a visit to the Santa Monica Pier in the summer of 2024. Here's a view of the pier from the Palisades Park up above. See that parking lot just to the right? Not only can you go there and park to visit the pier, you can sit in your car for 20 minutes and pretend you're stuck on the 405 freeway. Feel free to honk your horn in frustration. Before going to the pier, we spent a few minutes walking along Palisades Park. We had originally wanted to go look at the Camera Obscura, but unfortunately, it was closed when we got there. Since we couldn't go into the Camera Obscura, we did the next best thing. We headed to the pier. Here's a sign marking the entrance to the Santa Monica Pier. Did you know that this sign was first erected in 1941? We were getting hungry. Right next door to the pier is the original hot dog on a stick, opening in 1946. Here's a picture of Marion and her corn dog. And here I am. Here you go. Have a bite of my corn dog. Back up on the pier, the first building you come across is the Louvre Hippodrome, built in 1916. It houses a classic 1920s style merry-go-round. You might recognize it. The merry-go-round was used in the 1974 movie The Sting. It was restored in the 1990s, and you can ride one of the 44 hand-painted wooden horses to your heart's content. Back out on the pier, we came across this sign. That's right, this is the end of the line for the Mother Road, Route 66. Like the song says, it winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. But, that's a big but, if you are so inclined, you can drive farther than this sign. But if you do, and this is where that big but comes in, there's a good chance you'll end up in the drink. You can also walk as far as you want to, too. I think that's where that famous comeback saying comes from. Walk west till your hat floats, buddy. As we looked over the rail to watch the people sunning themselves on the beach, we both knew we had a problem. And that problem was we wanted something to eat, but didn't know what we wanted. But luckily for us, you can find a number of eating spots on the pier. After looking around a bit, we settled on the Pier Burger. I was craving a hamburger, but then I saw the sign advertising a concrete. What the heck is a concrete? Well, it's made with frozen custard, and as everybody knows, frozen custard trumps hamburgers every time. The place isn't your typical greasy spoon hamburger joint, as you can tell by this classy picture on the wall. But you know, I'm not sure if calling it a Route 66 concrete is such a good name for it. I think it should be called,
Really, the only word for it is...
Walking down the pier, I felt like I was walking down the crowd midway of a small town fair. And typical of a small town fair was this: your name on a grain of rice. How they do it, I do not know. I only know that they probably hated like hell when Engelbert Humperdinck showed up. Next up on the pier, we headed over to the Pacific Park where the rides were. See, I told you it was kind of like a fairgrounds. They had some nice rides there too. I especially liked the Tilt-A-Whirl shaped like an open shark's mouth. Hey, it's cotton candy, the dentist's friend. There are a total of 13 amusement rides at the Pacific Park on the Santa Monica Pier. Here's a Tilt-A-Whirl again. And like every good fairground, you gotta have yourself a roller coaster. And here's the famous Santa Monica Pier Ferris wheel. It uses 160,000 energy-saving LED lights and is the world's first and only solar-powered Ferris wheel. As nice as it is to watch it during the day, I borrowed this next video from YouTube to let you see the show it puts on at night. Well, that being said, we decided to throw caution to the wind and take a spin on the Ferris wheel. I mean, what the hell? You only live once, and I personally love to push the edge of the envelope on life. Here's a couple pictures of us calmly riding above the chaos going on below us. Although it wasn't actually death-defying, it was still a lot of fun riding on that Ferris wheel. It was fun just to sit, relax, and watch what was going on below. After that, we decided to head home. But on the way, we decided to stop off in Beverly Hills to see what is known as the Witch's House. Not your typical Beverly Hills abode, the house is known for its fanciful, intentionally run-down design and is a stopping spot for tourists in the area. You can find a small moat in front of the house. It was originally built in 1921 in Culver City and later moved to its present location in 1926. The house has appeared in such movies as The Loved One, Clueless, and The Undead. Every year, the current resident welcomes thousands of trick-or-treaters to his front lawn, and I can believe it. There's even a witch with, naturally, ruby slippers. In a few moments, we'll know what this witch looks like. Drum roll, please. Yikes! A face only a mother could love. Now, I know this video is labeled a visit to the Santa Monica Pier, but we did deviate a little bit to Beverly Hills to see the Witch's House. So we're going to deviate one more time, this time to West Hollywood to see the Tail of the Pup. The Tail of the Pup is an iconic Los Angeles hot dog stand shaped like a hot dog. It is one of the last surviving mid-20th century buildings that were built in the shapes of products they sold. It opened in 1946 to large crowds, was closed in 2005, declared a cultural landmark in 2006, and eventually reopened at its current location in 2022. It's a small building with an equally small menu, but there is an indoor-outdoor eating area in the back of the dog. The world-famous hot dog, as advertised, comes to you in this great wiener dog container. And being world-famous, that means that they would know what I was talking about in London, in Tokyo, and even Paris. Sitting inside, I noticed several interesting pictures and plaques on the wall. Here's a picture taken at the grand opening in 1946. Look at all those people storming the place just for a hot dog. Here's a picture of the rock band Devo. They showed up here for some hot dogs back in 1978. In 1979, it was the all-female group, the Go-Go's, that stopped by for some refreshments. And last but not least, the rock group, the Stray Cats, made a stop here back in 1981. Oh yeah, there was this tiny plaque on the wall near the bathroom. Here's a close-up of it. The sixth studio album was L.A. Woman. It had such hits to it as Love Her Madly, L.A. Woman, and Riders on the Storm. And yes, in a way, Jim Morrison did record his vocals here. According to the Los Angeles Conservancy, the Tail of the Pup's new location was part of a building once used as a studio for the LA rock band, The Doors. I remember that the plaque had read that Jim Morrison had recorded his vocals there in the bathroom. So I decided to go in there and stretch my pipes and see if Lady Luck would get me a record deal. No such luck. The owner had heard me and thought somebody was getting murdered in there and called the police. Stupid music critics. Well, that's basically it for my visit to the Santa Monica Pier. But there's just one more thing I want to add. You can't have Santa Monica without S&M.